This week we're featuring Ruby, Sapphire under the microscope cam, chips on Why'd I Buy That, 9 new jokes, and all natural encouragement. I'm starting to look like The Rock. Not the wrestler, the one that's been out in the desert for 10 million years. Let's start the show. I'm glad I finally had a chance to work with some of this. I always keep putting it off because of two reasons, really. One is that it seems too close to the finished product. It's like, what am I going to do with it? And basically, I did just straighten it up. It's got that standard corundum shape. But I mean, I like that. I was going to go for an octagon, but I thought, nah, it worked out too well. Which takes me to my second point. It almost eats away too easily. I mean, it is hard stuff. It does not polish very easily. But since it's fractured, I could lose a lot of it. It could crack in half pretty easily. Or so I think. That's how I feel about it sometimes. But that's not always the case. I'm actually pretty happy with this one. I was gonna use the other side of it, but the other side of it, and the video will show, the other side of it did not work out that well. It's got too many different zones. But this is some of the ruby that I picked up when Colette asked me to buy some ruby, which my seller had for like 2 months. Maybe not even that. They had a few fistfuls of these little guys, and they are gone. No more available. Kiwi Claw, welcome to the show. Hope you're having a fine evening. We got about 16 minutes of video here. Jeffrey Allen and Downriver Mining. Have you ever worked with any ruby, sapphire, any corundum type product? I'm starting with a 100 grit. No wonder it was easy to grind. And I did need something for the show, something in the area of red. Something that was going to make it happen. There's the chatbot. Welcome, chatbot. Oh man, Colette made it. I'm glad she made it. Because every time I see a ruby, I think, Colette. I hope she likes it. How you doing? Welcome to the show. Thanks for coming by. Hope we got a good one today. Let's see what we grind out with this. Okay, so there, it's got a decent color going on, but it's got that whiteness up top and that darkness down low. And I wanted to get an evenness of color. And it doesn't really have any evenness of color anywhere. Even in the picture on that side, it's uneven, but that's okay because the different facets kind of spread it out. They spread the differences out to the sides, and we'll learn more about that under the microscope cam. And that 100 grit just grinds it right down. And this is hard stuff. Sapphire is very, very hard. It is the 8. No, 9. It's number 9 on the Mohs scale. Topaz is number 8. Then Sapphire. Then Diamond is number 10. Hello, gem lovers. Jacob Hay. Yeah. Or maybe that's yeah, like Kia. Not the car, the furniture company. I love it. Thank you, Colette. And thank you for the encouragement. It sure turned out pretty. It sure did. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and fire up the microscope cam. And yes, I am still trying to wake up. Sometimes it takes an hour, 2 hours, 3 or 4 years, 9.5 days. I hope you laughed when you saw the poll. Running out of ideas for the poll, but I like it because it's another opportunity for a joke. Poultry or polka? I should have put a third option that reads both. Okay, where is the microscope cam? Come on, microscope cam. It's not firing up yet. Oh, apparently there's a switch on this thing that says I can hook it up via Wi-Fi. Isn't that neat? Switch is currently set to PC, so I can hook it up politically correctly. And apparently I didn't plug it in. The light was on, right? I mean, it just... Apparently I can charge it too. And use it while it's unplugged. Use it in the field, connect it via hotspot. This thing's a pretty cool camera. Shaboom bop, baby. Okay, so this is the ruby under the microscope. You can see some of the zones, some of the marble. That's the whitish, brownish stuff. A lot of ruby is embedded in marble. I actually have a chunk of marble with some ruby in it, but they're so small. And there could be something bigger in it. It's about the size of my thumb. I don't know, though. And there's one of the cleave points, that brown line. So corundum grows in columns that are basically shaped like this. And it grows up, and it's sliced. And we'll see that when I look at the sapphire here in a moment. It's got like triangles that form in opposite directions. And then the triangle points form on the other side of the piece. So that's why it's like there's two triangles converging. And this side, with these two pieces of marble, are in the picture like that with the light showing on them. So I used a little movie magic to hide that and help get more of the pinkness to show. Because it's actually pretty pink. That picture actually got it pretty accurate. See, here's the problem with the back. It's got that area. You can kind of see it in the video. It's not very even. I was thinking if it had an evenness to it, it would make a good side to take the picture of. But it's not even. And it doesn't matter. I mean, it does matter, but I tried eating it thinner, which is kind of good because then it's lighter when you put it in a piece of jewelry, which I might try to mount this in a ring. But if I wanted to try and get rid of that, see how far down I would have to eat? I would have to eat through half of this girdle area to be able to make that happen. And I didn't think it was worth it. I wanted to keep it whole and large. And this side actually turned out pretty good. It turned out to have a lot of character. I like it. This is the size of the ruby. That's how big it is. I think it'll make a pretty cool little ring piece, you know? I'm excited about it. It's a happy gem. Happy gem. Bling, 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 bling. I think next we're going to go with some citrine. But the problem with this citrine is that it has like a zone of orange in it. I specifically took a video of me with this citrine in front of the computer screen so you can see where the little zone of orange is up on this side. But we'll show that in the video if and when I get to process that. But anyway, here's the sapphire under the microscope cam. Notice it has that corundum shape, and the triangles are starting to protrude across the top of it. I really like this. I don't know if I'll actually process this piece, just because it shows the formation of the crystal. I might put it in the museum. It's such a clean piece of sapphire, not clarity-wise, but in terms of crystal formation. It does have a nice bluishness to it. The camera is fairly accurate on this blue. It's kind of a darker blue, but it's a bluey blue. Not like a bomb blew up bluey blue, but like a there's the sky and it's blue, there's the water and it's blue. There's me being sad and I'm blue. Not that one. Just the color of blue. Kind of like the glove, but, you know, darker. And I do have one that I've started processing, this one here. See, here's the size of that sapphire with the triangles on it, on top, facing that way. And it's kind of, I think it's kind of interesting that some of the sides are bigger than some of the other sides. I'll put it back on the microscope cam to show. See, like this side is shorter, and this side is longer, and this side is shorter, and that side is longer, and then that side is kind of in-betweenish. Sapphire under the microscope cam. And then I've got this side of this one, which has got me wondering, how am I going to process it? You know, it's got that side, and then this side's kind of even, and this side with the triangles. So I might, you know, tilt all three of those in, and then tilt the opposing ones in a little bit, or maybe a little bit more. Maybe? And then it's got that other triangle on top, the little triangle over here, but it's actually backwards. It's indented, not extruded. Protruded. Out. Rooted. Something like that. But I'm having so much trouble trying to polish this thing. If I put this on a piece of sandpaper, it's like whoosh, sandpaper smooth, no change in the sapphire. So hard to polish. Still very beautiful. Just like all of you. You know what else is beautiful? Chips. And salsa. I made some salsa. Colette, you told me to make a video of the salsa making, and I did not do that. I've got a couple of like 5-second videos of the salsa that I put on my Instagram. But I need to actually make a video of me making the salsa, or have it, maybe I should do a live stream, because it's like 6 to 9 hours of me doing salsa. It takes for friggin' ever, especially waiting for it to boil down. Because what I do is I chop all the vegetables by hand, so I get a better result. You know, you sharpen the knife, chop up the veggies, combine them, bring it up to just a small plopping boil. You don't want to roast them. You just want them to get the vegetables to release their water. And so then I scoop all the veggies out and strain them. And then I take all the water and oil and I boil that down at a pretty decent boil. And then once it gets down and it's just mostly the oils and the flavors, and most of the water's gone so it doesn't soak up the chip, then it's a lot thicker. And you put all the veggies back in, and they release some of more of their water and oil as I bring it up to another slow boil, where it's just like plop, plop, plop. And then it's all sanitary, so I can put it in the jars. And then you got to bring some water up to a boil so that you can put all the jars in the water. And then that way you take the jar out of the boiling water. And the cool thing is, the water is so hot when I take the jar out. You pour all the water out, you set it down. It's dry inside because all the water steamed off. And then you put the salsa inside, and as long as it's all sanitary, then it won't like grow anything inside and it won't break the seal. And since it's hot, once you put the lid on it and then you tighten the ring around the lid, it sucks that little bubble down. You know, when you open a jar of pickles and the bubble pops up? Same thing. So you can sit there and you can hear them all, or as they cool down, they go dink, 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 and all the jars pop down. And then I can put the label on them, and then I can eat them with the chips that I bought. I bought chips. Which ones did I buy? Look at all those chips. I thought about putting corn chips, because there are there's potato chips, but there's also corn chips. And then there's, weird ones like banana chips. And that's a fruit. It's not a vegetable. So what I bought this time was vegetable chips, and the vegetable of choice, corn. Why? Corn chips seem to go better with salsa. Not sure why. These are tortilla style corn chips. And you may notice there are bite size, there are scoops, there are flavored ones like the Doritos. And I decided I would go with the unflavored ones because the salsa's actually got a lot of flavor. But I will say, just to be clear, cheesy Doritos, the nacho cheese Doritos with salsa, that's pretty good. That is really good. I mean, Allison used to buy those and she's onto something. So cheers to Allison. I really like the scoops because I like dip and I like salsa and it's delicious and I want lots of it. So that's what I bought. Scoops. I went and I picked the bag in the front did not seem too crumply, so I just grabbed the bag that was right there. There's only like 3 bags and I got one of them. I picked it up. I put it in my arm because I don't have a cart. And I went and I got some more soda pop and I went and I bought it. Oh, and apparently I paid $4.60 for it. Yeah, so it was a lot, but it was worth it because it helped to fuel me through this beautiful show. That's what's happening with what I bought and why did I buy that. Have you ever bought chips? And which ones did you buy? And why did you buy those? That's a juicy gem. Oh, Emily Eshelman, drop your link. Where is your YouTube link? Please drop your link. Emily Eshelman and I were speaking on Facebook about her other link. She has a link. And not like a link from, The Legend of Zelda, but it's a legendary link because we haven't found it yet. I'm obsessed with the microscope cam. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad that you like the microscope cam because I like the microscope cam portion of the show too. That's why I keep doing it. I really enjoy looking at them under the microscope cam. They're, shows the character of the gems. Let's see, where did I put the ruby? Rubies and sapphires. That's what's that's what's on the show for today. That's what's on the docket. I don't know what a docket is, but these are on it. Maybe we should have a docket under the microscope cam and then put the gems on that docket. We'll have to find out what a docket is. I like the natural triangles. Me too. That would look good on a ring. I was thinking that too. I should totally try and do that. I mean, I could put it on one of these costume rings that I got, but I was thinking I've done a few of these costume rings. I did the one with the tourmaline. I did the one where I put a ruby kind of like that, but bigger, on a ring for Colette. And so I was like, here's the tourmaline, by the way. It's a chrome tourmaline. Turned out pretty good. Big old clonker. You know, you can knock somebody out with it. It's like a weapon in itself on your pinky. Makes your pinky into a weapon. Wha-bam! I'm gonna hold this up in front of the camera. Kind of like that. Not really showing too well, but yeah, it would definitely be a cool piece to have on a ring. So I need to get some more rings, and maybe something better than these costume rings, because these things actually, they've got a lot of edges. They hurt. They're like, it's like weird to wear, and it's adjustable, and it hurts my fingers to like have it on. And we don't want that, not with jewelry, especially if you know it's something that you're going to wear regularly. But that is a good suggestion. I should try to put it on. I need to get into the jeweling side. That would be fun. And kind of finish out the craft, right? Me too. I love the microscope cam. I like the natural triangles. I think it's really interesting to see the crystal formation. That's one of my favorite things about the microscope portion. I got a lot of favorite things about the microscope portion. Very pretty blue. Colette, we're going to get into that sapphire pretty soon. I think I might actually be featuring some blue adventurine coming up, or maybe a piece of iolite. Although it depends on how the iolite turns out. I don't know. I've got 2 pieces in the works that I haven't really worked on, but I like a little kick, but it's got to be chopped really tiny. Okay, so there is a little bit of kick to the salsa that I made. I'm going to have to bring you a jar, because I got these banana peppers. That I usually get banana peppers, but these are hot banana peppers, and they're really hot. Like, they're really hot. So they actually took the salsa from a heatless salsa up to a mild salsa. So there is just a little bit of kick, which I like. But here's the thing. Banana peppers, you know, they're long. I chop them into rings. So the salsa's got a lot of smaller parts, but it's got like the bigger, you can scoop and you'll get like a ring on the end of the chip. And I like that. It's kind of neat. So it is a chunkier salsa. I'll have to get your opinion on it. That would be really cool to have. I mean, it's just the vegetables, and then there's a little bit of vinegar and a little bit of cumin, and that's it. And it turns out to be just so floral. I really like it. That's how I make it every year, so I have it, you know, all throughout the winter. Heavy salt wins for me. Oh, and blue corn chips. I forgot about blue corn chips. Those are actually pretty good. They seem to be a little harder, like stiffer. But, you know, they're very pleasant. I enjoy them. Gotta have the salt. The salt comes from the chips. I haven't actually put any salt in the salsa, but I think I might do that next time. So here's the iolite pieces I'm working on. This one's got a bunch of chunky areas, and this one's kind of open and very, very dark. And it might light up. I'm going to try and put a flashlight behind it. It might lighten up as I start grinding through it, but I'm not sure. See, this one's got some areas. Notice the yellowness? Yeah, that has to do with the dichroicness of the stone, the polychroicness of the stone, depending on how you turn it. It becomes more yellow or more blue. And then this one is pretty open inside. It's got a nice blue to it. I'm hoping that blue will come out as we grind into it. Or maybe as I break this other one down with the yellow, as I break it down, we'll have some really nice smaller gems. So that's kind of the idea behind the iolite that I'm getting ready to process. And we'll have to get into that in the upcoming weeks. It's going to be exciting. The cam shows their natural beauty. Danning. Canning. No, dang. One of those things. I love my ruby ring. You're welcome, Colette. I'm glad you're happy with it. Colette's great. She sends me snacks and I send her gems. Holy creepoli. Chips. Benny Loco likes chips. How's it going, Benny Loco? Glad you came by. Bought a tiny 1 terabyte NVMe. Oh, Kiwi Claw's talking about computer chips. So he likes to eat his computer chips with salsa. Good old silicon. Which actually, I think there's a lot of silicon in Sapphire. Let's look that up right quick. Sapphire, which, by the way, and just to, point this out for anyone who is unfamiliar, sapphires come in every color except red, because if it's red, it's a ruby. Same type of chemical makeup. Aluminum trioxide. It's aluminum oxide. So it's 2 aluminums and 3 oxygens in an alpha pattern. That's what sapphire is. Very, very hard stuff. Very, very cool stuff. Much like all of you. Is the salsa going to kick me? No, it's not that kind of a kick. It's not like a karate kick. It's more like a kicking good time. More like a kick your boots off kind of a kick. Jacob is going to do a fundraiser soon and auction off some stones. Yes, that is actually the plan. I've been putting away a lot of stones so that I can do a show and do like an auction. Bring me all the salsa. Okay, so here's the thing about the salsa, just to be clear. The tomatoes are ripening late this year. Usually I get a batch of salsa in July, and it's already like the end of September August is over. I did get my first batch in at the end of August, but it's got a little bit of first batchiness to it. Like I'm waiting for the vegetables to get a little more ripe. And so I'm thinking that it's a good batch. I'm very happy with it. I ate a whole jar. I was like, I could eat this without chips. But I'm thinking that the next batch will be pretty good. I don't know. If not, I'll still send out some salsa. But hopefully this next batch will turn out great, and I can really send out some salsa. Because that's what I'd like to do, is get some salsa sent out to some beautiful people who come by for things like the joke portion of the program. Let's see what I got this week. Stuffed cabbage this evening. No to cabbage. I don't know why, I just do not like cabbage. It never goes over well. Gotta upgrade my Steam Deck. Oh, wow, really? You're actually gonna upgrade that thing? You're gonna add a new 250 gigabyte drive? Oh, no, it starts with 250 gigs, but that doesn't go far these days. Yeah, I remember my original drive was 2.5 gigabytes back in the one of the first computers I had. We got a button of sweet yellow cherry tomatoes. If you need any buttons of sweet yellow cherry tomatoes, especially if you got a big butt. I don't think she can lie about it. Speaking of lies, what do I got for the joke portion? This is a half-finished joke. It's like a setup, but I'm still going to tell it anyway. I realize that I've finally used enough social media to have an opinion on it. That's an undone joke. Shame on me. I want to shoot a documentary, but I want all the shots to look natural. So I'm just mounting a bunch of Ring cameras everywhere. Nope, that one's unfinished too. Um, I'm not trying to leave a legacy where I'm remembered. Just a legacy where I don't get canceled after I die. Oh, this is a great idea. We're gonna make a cereal out of fiber, out of, what did I say? We're gonna make a cereal out of bran flakes and Viagra pills. We'll call it Raisin Bran. Raise and Bran. One of those things. Daddy Longleg is my new porn name. We're going to make a dating app called Tit Tat Toe. We're just leaving that one as is. Let's see. It turns out if I get sunburnt, my skin is actually hotter. Yeah, my skin is hotter when it's sunburnt. So now when I prepare for relations, I prepare by putting my fun bits under a sun lamp. Oh, I put my fun bits under the wiener lamp. The only problem is when the gas station manager catches me. That's a terrible joke. I've heard of people throwing pampered chef parties. Is that where you put on a giant diaper and a chef's hat? No, this is a pretty sad joke portion of the week. So comedians at a comedy show, they gather in a room called the green room. If the green room smells like weed, it wasn't me. One of the other comedians has an emotional support skunk. And I'm starting to look like The Rock. Not the wrestler. The one that's been out in the desert for 10 million years. But that's what happens when I try to do the joke portion of the program. I start to look like The Rock. Ron Weasley made it. Okay, so Ron Weasley .NET framework. That's what I need. I need to get a .NET framework update that will allow the other chatbot to work. That way, we can have the chatbots talk with each other again. Painting with squirrels. Welcome to the show. I'm glad you made it. I like painting with squirrels. I'm glad to see you. I think I've seen you before, right? Maybe I saw you when you were painting. Maybe I saw you with the squirrels. And it was nutty. My oldest son's name is Brandon. I called him Bran for short sometimes. Like when I would ask him if he wanted some raisins, Bran. Penny, you're so entertaining. You are all so entertaining. I'm so glad you were able to make it to the show. I'm going to go out and try to make an open mic, even though I'm going to be too late for it. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. One thing I did do is I did a comedy showcase in Dubuque, and it was awesome. Great people, amazing stuff. I did a 10-minute set. I'm really proud of it. It was a tough crowd, but I got people to laugh. They were a great crowd. Got them to laugh a lot of times. Only had like 2 jokes not work. You know, where they don't get any laughs because they're confusing, and I'm still trying to work them out. But it turned out great. I had fun. Everyone else had lots of fun, and I think I'm gonna. I gotta edit out like a couple minutes of like me setting up the camera, but then I'm gonna upload it to YouTube so that you can see. So that's gonna be coming in like a week or so. So cheers to you, and cheers to this week. It's gonna be a great week. You are all fantastic people. I'm so glad you were able to make it. And I hope you can make it next week. And every week. At 9 p.m. Eastern. You are amazing.